Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to talk about the treatment of leprosy. So, what are the drugs? I am going to cover only the treatment part. The drugs used for the treatment of leprosy are rifampicin, dapsone, and clofazimine. They are the main treatments. And other drugs which are sensitive to leprosy is ethionamide. You know that ethionamide is used in MDR tuberculosis as a second generation drug for tuberculosis. It also has efficacy in leprosy also. It can also be used in leprosy. And other drugs we have is ofloxacin, minoxidil, and clarithromycin. And for sickle patch leprosy treatment, they used to give previously called ROM regimen. That is rifampicin, ofloxacin, and minocycline. That is called ROM regimen, and that is not practiced nowadays. Nowadays we have only paucibacillary treatment and multibacillary treatment. Okay, we will discuss one by one. So the drugs used in leprosy are rifampicin, dapsone, and clofazimine. They are the main treatment. Others which are sensitive are ethionamide, ofloxacin, minocycline, and clarithromycin. Coming to the dapsone, dapsone is a leprostatic drug. It is related to sulfonamide family, that it inhibits the folic acid synthesis. And like ship drugs, it is metabolized by acetylation. Like your isoniazid, it is also metabolized by acetylation, and it undergoes enterohepatic circulation. Okay, and the main side effect they can cause is mainly how to know about anemia. It causes anemia, but common side effects are GI irritation, fever, skin rash, methemoglobinemia. Since it is related to sulfonamide drugs, it can cause sulfur allergy. Therefore, it can cause skin rash, fever, hemolysis in G6PD deficiency, methemoglobinemia, and GI irritation. And hemolytic anemia is the most common adverse effect of the dapsone. You should remember this point. And if hemoglobin is less than 7 grams per deciliter, you should not use dapsone. Dapsone is contraindicated if hemoglobin level is below 7 grams. And it can also cause cell phone syndrome called infectious mononucleosis like syndrome. Okay, you have to remember that point. And where all we use the dapsone? What are the indications for the dapsone? The main indications are dermatitis herpetiformis. The drug of choice dermatitis herpetiformis, and we also use in the prophylaxis of pneumocystis jirovecii patient along with pyrimethamine. Dapsone and pyrimethamine are indicated for prophylaxis in pneumocystis jirovecii infection in AIDS patient. Okay, so these are the main two indications we are using dapsone nowadays. So I will repeat it again. It's a leprostatic drug. It has mechanism similar to sulfonamide. Like your ship drugs like isoniazid, it is metabolized by acetylation. It undergoes enterohepatic circulation. And main side effects it can cause is GI irritation. It can cause sulfur drugs. It can cause fever, skin rash, methemoglobinemia, and hemolysis in G6PD deficiency patients. But hemolytic anemia is the most common adverse effect of the dapsone. It can cause sulfone-like syndrome called infectious mononucleosis-like syndrome, and it is an alternative drug for the treatment of pneumocystis jirovecii prophylaxis infection in AIDS patients along with pyrimethamine. And it is a drug of choice for the condition called dermatitis herpetiformis. Coming to another drug, clofazimine, it is also a leprostatic drug with anti-inflammatory activity. And mechanism of action of this clofazimine is it interferes with your template function of the DNA. Template function of the DNA. Okay, it can cause gastrointestinal irritation, and main side effects they can ask in your MCQs or blackish color discoloration of your skin. That is ichthyosis of the skin and discoloration of the skin and secretions. And because it has an anti-inflammatory activity, it can be used for your lepra reactions. Okay, mainly type 2 lepra reactions. Okay, erythema nodosum leprosum. Okay, but the drug of choice for type 4 and type 2 is always corticosteroids, prednisolone. Yeah, remember that point. And clofazimine can also be indicated for your type 2 lepra reaction, erythema nodosum leprosum. So clofazimine, it is a dye, it is a leprostatic, has anti-inflammatory property, and it interferes with your template function of the DNA. And side effect it can cause is gastrointestinal irritation, blackish discoloration of the skin, that is called ichthyosis, and discoloration of the skin and secretions. And because of its anti-inflammatory action, it can be used for your lepra reaction type 2, erythema nodosum leprosum. Coming to the rifampicin, it is the bactericidal drug. The only bactericidal drug used in the leprosy is rifampicin. Okay, and it is the most effective drug in leprosy comparing to all other drugs. And why we are using rifampicin? It prevents your development of resistance to your dapsone. We have already discussed that point. So rifampicin is the only bactericidal drug used in leprosy, most effective drug, and it prevents the development of resistance to your dapsone. So other drugs which are sensitivity or ethionamide. I have already discussed ethionamide. has an anti-leprotic action, but it can cause hepatotoxicity. Remember that all the TB drugs, they can cause hepatotoxicity. I have already mentioned that point. Particularly in 10% patients, they can cause hepatotoxicity. And coming to fluoroquinolones, we have three drugs which are effective. They're ofloxacin, pifloxacin, and sparfloxacin are effective. Your ciprofloxacin is not effective for even leprosy. And in tetracycline group, we have minocycline, and macrolide group, we have clarithromycin. Okay, they are also used in your leprosy. So other drugs which have sensitivity are ethionamine, but it has hepatotoxicity as side effect. Fluoroquinolones, we have three drugs: ofloxacin, pifloxacin, and sparfloxacin, but not your ciprofloxacin. Minocycline in tetracycline family, and macrolide, we have clarithromycin. They can also be used in your leprosy. And coming to your treatment of paucibacillary treatment, that is less than five patches of hypopigmented patches, Hansen's disease for paucibacillary basic, they're less than five patches. Okay, so we should diagnose after diagnosing paucibacillary treatment. You should give the treatment or rifampicin. Okay, rifampicin you have to give once monthly supervised under the supervision of the doctor. 600 milligram once monthly supervised. Like that, you have to give clofazimine 300 milligram once monthly supervised. Okay, this is once monthly dose only. And other drugs, dapsone and clofazimine. Dapsone you have to give entire day for 6 months. 100 milligram OD daily, once daily for 6 months. Clofazimine 50 milligram OD for 6 months. So possibility treatment is around 6 months. Okay, for these two treatments, and these two treatments for once monthly supervised. So rifampicin 600 milligram once monthly supervised, clofazimine 300 milligram once monthly supervised, dapsone 100 milligram once daily for 6 months, and clofazimine 50 milligram OD for 6 months. If you if you want to know about the treatment of multibacillary, that is more than five patches of leprosy in your body, then it is diagnosed as multibacillary. And how will you treat? You have to repeat the same treatment, but you have to extend this treatment to 1 year. Same thing, rifampicin 600 milligram once monthly supervised, clofazimine 300 milligram once monthly supervised, and dapsone 100 milligram OD for 1 year, 12 months, and clofazimine 50 milligram OD for 12 months. That is the difference between your paucibacillary and multibacillary treatment. And drug of choice for your lepra reaction, type 1 and type 2, always corticosteroids, prednisolone they are giving. Now I'm going to talk about your TB dose. Okay, what are the about the first generation tuberculosis drugs dosage? Okay, for tuberculosis in adults, if you are using rifampicin, okay, you have to give the maximum dose of 10 milligram per kg. Okay, 10 milligram per kg. If you are using isoniazid, it is 5 milligram per kg. If you are using pyrazinamide, is a maximum dose 30 milligram per kg, 50 to 30 milligram per kg. And isoniazid, we have 25. Sorry, ethambutol, we have 25 milligram per kg. I will repeat it again. Rifampicin 10 milligram per kg, isoniazid 5 milligram per kg, pyrazinamide maximum 30 milligram per kg, 50 to 30 milligram per kg, ethambutol 25 milligram per kg. The second maximum after your pyrazinamide. That's all for the class today. Thank you for your kind attention.